The Nintendo Switch was announced.
Oh boy.
The Switch.
The Switch.
They call it the Switch because you want to switch it off. Ha ha. Sorry.
I'm actually seeing people excited for
Oh no,
it.
I'm too. I kind of want to. It's March next year. I kind of want to get one because, especially if they port over Splatoon and whatnot. Because then I can finally play it at my house and not have to go to my parents' house and play on theirs. So I was thinking about buying a Wii U, and then
Now the Switch is announced. So
I'm spending $300 on a Wii U now. Oh
Yeah.
wait. But anyway, it's time for Pony 411. Yes, this is episode 162 of Pony 411. I am Nemesis, and Alcatraz is here too.
Hey.
Yes, talked about the Switch a little bit. Kind of excited for that. I got my new pony shirts. One of them is not as nice as I'd hoped it would be.
Yeah.
It kind of came up, the print kind of dissolved a little in the wash, which is unfortunate. I'll have to figure out what to do with there because I really liked it too.
Yeah, maybe
But-
it was just one bad one.
Hopefully it was just one bad one. But anyway, yes, we are here for the finale of
Yep.
Season 6. But we also have news and a little bit of fan content after that. If you want to follow along with the news, because we're just going ahead and jump right in, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. It's spelled LIBSYN. So, to get started with convention stuff, HasCon has been officially announced for September 8th through 10th at Rhode Island Convention Center and Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh boy, HasCon.
HasCon is official.
No, they're gonna start suing all the fan conventions.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they did with BotCon. No, wait. BotCon existed alongside several unofficial Transformers conventions. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything to worry
The
about.
only convention that should be worried is Equestria LA because they're the same weekend on the other side of the country, so that might be a little more difficult for them to get some guests and attendees. Who knows?
Yeah, that might be the only problem is if there's like contention for attendees, because guests, yeah, you're probably gonna miss out on a few, but on the opposite sides of the country,
Yeah, but Hasbro also has more money.
yeah. But it's less likely for people. There's less people who
Yeah.
fly across country to a convention than the local ones.
Yeah. Unless it's Brona can't con, of course.
Yeah, but that's
That's different.
HorseCon Prime. You have to make the Brony Mecca.
But HasCon is, it's going to be not just ponies. Going to be it's obviously more than that. There's Transformers, Magic. They'll probably have a lot of their licensed stuff as well. So we'll see how that goes, I guess.
Yeah, that will definitely be interesting. See how it goes.
Yeah, because the thing is, in the official stuff, they often have like officially sanctioned panels where they really give you in-depth behind-the-scenes stuff. More than just, we can't talk about that.
Yeah, at the fan ones,
Or,
it's just like,
I'm not sure if we can talk about that.
yeah, they'll have potentially more knowledge of what they can and cannot say.
Mhm.
Might be able
Also,
to say more.
they like to give you like, exclusive stuff. It's like, this is official merchandise, which is only available here.
Like the stuff that happens at NYCC or
Yeah.
or
Or BotCon has us like,
yeah.
of course, I'm hoping that BotCon's problem is it's $500 for a like 5-figure set.
Yeah, exclusive are expensive.
Even that's pushing it. So hopefully it doesn't get that extreme. But that was kind of a weird thing because that was a company called Fun Pub doing it on Hasbro's behalf. So hopefully Hasbro doesn't go that crazy. But anyway, moving on. Project C PonyCon has announced Andrea Libman. This is the, I believe, Thailand convention.
I believe so. Yeah.
I know the C is Southeast Asia. Yes, Bangkok, Thailand. That is the one. And Ponyville Cider Fest has released an SFM promo for their con, and they announced Lexi Huell, the voice of Angel Wings, and she'll be attending.
Interesting.
That was like real fast.
That was real fast.
And finally, BabsCon has announced Tabitha St. Germain. They just announced that today. Oh no, we're dating when we recorded. Oh no. Anyway, in fandom news, Seeds of Kindness is doing their 6th charity album called A Change of Heart. They are looking for musicians right now.
That is a long-standing album set. Yeah.
Number 6.
Yep. They've been around since the beginning, really.
And a teaser for a fan animation called Spare has appeared. It centers around Luna and Celestia back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back when Celestia had pink hair and Luna had short blue hair. Remember that?
Yep.
And Stable Tech Studios is behind the scenes / animatic video for their Fallout Equestria animation. It's about 17 minutes long. And speaking of which, a side-scroller based on Fallout Equestria was released. It's in English and Russian.
Yeah, I played that one for a bit. It's pretty fun. It's still in beta. You can't actually die.
Oh no.
If your health goes down to 0, you just get a corpse skill, I guess. That just counts how many times you should have died.
Oh, how about that?
But you get to keep going. Which is useful because there's a couple bugs too. A couple annoying places that's like almost impossible to get through.
Right.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's actually pretty fun.
Well, how about that? And Ambient White, which was formerly Ambient Prologue, has released a new gameplay video showing their overhauled UI and whatnot, too.
It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of improvements, I think. There's a couple things I still think they could do.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I think some of the animations,
Still a
they're
little
pretty
off.
good, but a little stiff, I would say.
Yeah, some of them are still a little off. I think they still need to address the whole hair clipping into everything.
Yeah, that's tough, though. I mean,
know.
that even happens in AAA games, so I guess.
Yeah, such is life.
Yeah.
Anyway, in merchandise news, Hasbro did really well for themselves in the Q3 of 2016.
They did.
In fact, they said it was their best quarter ever in the history of the company. Not much, at least, this is where conflicting things. According to Derpy News, the MLP kind of didn't do much, but they're talking big about 2017 because of the movie and all that stuff. But Equestria Daily claims that MLP grew by 57% or something like that. I'm more inclined on people go with Derpy News on this one. I think, if I were reading it right, I think Equestria Daily misread the report.
Yeah, I think it's just 57% for more than just.
Yeah, I think that's
just
like
over
everything.
across the board. Yeah.
So there's that. Hasbro's still around for a long time.
Yep, they're still doing really well.
And images have appeared of the new style brushables in packaging. We kind of saw one last week, but we just didn't notice they were the new style. Yes, so this is more or less confirms, I guess, the new brushable style is a thing.
Yep.
Not knockoffs. And so, yes, we got the Celestia and Fluttershy, Applejack and Twilight and Spike, and Shining and Cadence and Flurry. So how about that?
Oh, Flurry.
Build-A-Bear's Minty plushie will be available on October 27th.
Really
So
soon.
next Friday. This Friday. Coming Friday. Soon.
Yes.
And even more blind bags have appeared on Taobao, and most of them seem to be characters from Green Isn't Your Color.
Could this be the FIM collection?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because it's been looking like rarities next. And 4 new Equestria Girls Minis have appeared on Amazon. 4 of them, although I believe one of them we've seen before. There's Photo Finish, Pinky in a art smock, Dash in her Rainbow Rocks uniform outfit, and Sci-Twi.
Yeah, Sci-Twi.
Yeah, these are all right now listed but not available for purchase and no release date anywhere. Just currently unavailable.
Of course, they have to package Rainbow and Rarity together.
Well, actually, that's just a cardboard cutout.
Is that?
Yeah, it's not actually Rarity. It's just to show that that's because Dash comes with all the music
Yeah, it comes
accessories
with
for
all
of them.
all the instruments.
And also, what's interesting here is they now include stands. The figures include stands because I guess they noticed.
They don't tend to stand up on by themselves.
Yeah, a lot of people are having a difficult time, and I'm one of those people who are, I guess, lucky and get theirs to actually stand for long periods of time.
Yay, stands. I wonder if they'll sell the stands separately, though.
That'd be nice. I hope so.
Because we had issues finding stands that would actually work.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Just a pack of like 5 stands or something, like for $3 or whatever. I think I'd go for it because there's already plenty pre-existing without stands.
Mm-hmm. I'd go for it too.
Yeah, that's good. Soon, I mean, I believe most of these were already known from that long time ago. There's that list leak.
Yeah,
I remember the Science Twilight playset that they did. So they're coming. I'm guessing Wave 1 of 2017.
Q1.
Wave 1. That's Wave 1 of 2017. And finally, those new Funko Mystery Minis are now available on Amazon. $7 a pop or $80 for all 12. Yep. And if you buy them individually, you have no idea what you're getting, which kind of stinks, but there you go. That's kind of the point.
Yep.
They're mysteries.
That's why they're mystery minis.
And in the actual final piece of merchandise news, apparently there's a lawsuit that says Hasbro lifted the design for the puzzle party game from Peak Games' Toy Blast game. And the thing is, I'm looking at this and it looks really bad, actually, for Puzzle Party.
It does.
Like, seriously, like they mimicked stuff to an absurd degree.
Yeah, almost like they lifted the entire UI. The individual puzzle designs look lifted.
Yeah.
Basically, they just took the game and reskinned it with ponies.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. So we'll see how that goes on, but that's kind of not good.
Yeah, it's really not good.
But in comic news, the Friends Forever Omnibus Volume 2 has appeared on Amazon with the Rocky Horror Picture Show cover. No, really.
Yeah.
And is scheduled for a May 9th, 2017 release.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Dash is meatloaf.
Yep. And apparently they're shipping Applejack and Fluttershy. Because, well, surprised this got through.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just iconic.
Odd. Yeah, but it's kind of weird how it got through. No problem. Especially since multiple implications.
Rarity.
Yep. But moving on from there, the January 2017 comic solicitations are out, including issue number 50 of Friendship is Magic.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Discord's new form threatens to take over all of Equestria. When the elements of harmony prove ineffective, the final gambit rests in Starlight Glimmer's hooves.
Oh boy. You won't like that one.
Oh, hey, that's just give Starlight Glimmer more glory and power. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Friends Forever number 36, which is sure to excite you.
Oh, God.
Rainbow Dash travels to a remote and dangerous location and finds her fellow Wonderbolt, Soren, is about to undertake a dangerous mission. Will Dash be able to get over her ego and help her fellow Pegasus?
I'm not looking forward to this one at all.
Boy, we both have something not to like about this announcement.
Oh, boy. In case you don't know already, I don't like Soren Dash.
He loathes it.
It is my flashlight.
Yeah. Turn it off. And finally, in Equestria Girls / Friendship is Magic news, because we have to combine them now. Alexis Huel is now on Twitter. The voice of Changelings.
Yep.
She just joined Twitter.
Yay.
So you can follow her if you want. And another Flurry Heart scrapbook short was released. This one is a summarization of The Crystaling. If you didn't already, watch the episode.
Yeah.
And Nick Confalone is returning for one episode in season 7. Just one.
Just one, that's all.
The official word on Applejack's parents and where the apple lies is they were on vacation. Oh.
So, what is the prevailing headcanon now on that one? They're on vacation, and that's where Apple Bloom comes from.
I guess so. Of course, that doesn't explain why Applejack and Big Mac were fighting over who gets to run the farm if their parents were still alive.
Maybe they're just, planning for the future after that.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can even come close to is maybe, they expect to inherit it from their parents.
I guess. Maybe the parents just have no interest in running it.
Maybe.
Whatever. Okay, so that's the official word, I guess. Okay, then.
I guess it works.
Yeah.
That was one of the theories. They were just off somewhere.
Right. Hasbro put out a press release confirming Season 7 for spring of 2017, and that the 3 Equestria Girls specials will be 22 minutes long each and premiering on Discovery Family.
So...
not Netflix.
A mini-series. A 3-episode mini-series.
I guess. They're calling them specials. Most people don't refer to 3 episodes as miniseries. Most,
but that was my theory.
This still leaves the door open for the stealth pilot type thing for a new series.
Possibly.
Because 3 episodes of 22 minutes each. Oh, yeah, spring 2017, though. We kind of already knew that. And, well, it's not exactly outside of the realm of reasoning, because that seems to be the new thing is preparing spring. Yeah, so 22 minutes, but that's the other thing. Yeah, not Netflix like a lot of people were thinking would happen because of Legend of Everfree.
Yeah.
At least not Netflix initially.
It'll come to a Netflix eventually.
Oh, yeah. I would think. So that is the news. We're done.
Yes, we're done. We're actually not going to talk about anything more. We're just going to leave you in the dark.
Right. Moving on, though, to our main discussion, we would have had a comic except not DHL.
Wow.
Actually, this case, it was TFA actually kind of dragged their feet on this one.
Yeah, they didn't
ship it out till yesterday.
Yeah.
So we don't have it. I don't know what happened, but we don't have it this week, so, and I'm not going to rebuy it. So we'll have to cover it way late, unfortunately.
We'll cover it eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It'll be here eventually, just,
Yeah.
sorry. Nothing we can do. But we do have the Season 6 finale, which that is To Where and Back Again. So, as a quick summary of the finale. So it starts off with Twilight and Starlight talking a bit about how Starlight's come and whatnot. Then Starlight gets an invitation to go to the Sunset Festival back at the town she used to rule. And she gets all worried because she's afraid that, about what they're going to think of her and they're going to reject her and all this stuff. And then Luna gives her advice in her dream about it to take a friend. She goes with Trixie, and then she gets overwhelmed because they keep asking her to get involved, and help them out with choices and whatnot. Then she goes back to Ponyville, and she finds her friends are acting strange. And then it turns out from another dream that Luna tells them that they've all been captured by changelings. So then she goes Trixie, and then Thorax shows up, and Discord shows up, and they all go off to the Changeling Hive, which turns out the Changeling Hive is protected by an ancient stone, which stops all magic but changeling magic. So they have to work without magic to save everyone, and they get in, and very shenanigans happen, and a lot of them get captured until finally Thorax is hit by Chrysalis's magic, which he's going to be drained of love, and then he has to share his love, and that turns him into a new kind of changeling. And then the other changelings all do it except for Chrysalis, who says, "Nah, I'm good," and then she runs away. And then they all go to that town again for the Sunset Festival, and that's pretty much the gist of it.
Good summary.
Yeah. Have to make them fast.
Well done.
Gotta embrace the Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah, so to start things off about this, I guess initially, overall, I feel the first half drags. It's kind of generally not as interesting. It's kind of a okay episode. Second half picks up and it's a lot more fun for the most part. For the most part, yeah, the second half is a lot more fun in general, but the first half just kind of, it almost feels like you have to endure it a little. It's not bad. It's just, it drags a little. Feels like it kind of goes at a snail's pace, if that makes sense. It feels like it almost feels it feels longer than it actually is my problem with it. This first half. Second half is...
I think just on that one issue, I'll let you go back into the rest of it, but just on that one point, I think it's just because of the differences in pacing between the first and the half. When you put the first half and the second half, when you put them next to each other like that, you can definitely feel the difference more than, say, if the first half was that kind of pacing all on its own.
Yeah, I think the second half, the pacing is actually, for the most part, is actually really pretty nice and snappy, and gets through things pretty quickly without feeling like it's rushed. It also doesn't. So that's the thing. That's the first half. And my other big thing. That's my first big thing about it. The second big thing was the whole Starlight leadership thing felt kind of tacked on. It doesn't really go anywhere. It kind of feels like it's kind of tacked on. Doesn't really resolve either. So it's kind of it feels like it's just kind of tacked on the last second. Doesn't really feel like it belongs there.
All right.
That's
my turn.
She should see with it too, but
my turn. So those are your big ones. You've got more. I know you do. So let's see. In response to a couple of yours, on the pacing thing, like I said, I think the reason the first half feels like it's dragging is just because it's put up against the second half, which has a quicker pacing, not an over pacing. Really, like you said, it's not too rushed. I think it's just when you put them right next to each other, you can definitely feel the difference. And I think that's why the first one feels like it drags on a bit. I do think there's a couple points in it that it would probably longer. It was definitely a slower paced first half than the second one. I don't think it was that bad. The second half, I think the pacing was pretty good except for the very ending. I think the ending is the classic that we have in almost every episode so far, that just the endings feel rushed. I think they could have done a little bit more. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more there on just the pacing side of things. The Starlight Glimmer and the I don't want to be a leader, it does feel a bit tacked on. I will agree with you. I do think it's something that we needed to see with her, but I would have liked to have seen hints of this before.
It feels like, I think the leadership thing is not really a character trait that should be really a thing for her at all. It's to me, it feels like she kind of was a leader and she failed at it so spectacularly that
I think it could have been something. It would have been better if it was introduced earlier, more
And
immediately after
didn't
that,
though.
and they didn't. So that's where the tacked on thing feels.
If anything, though, what it feels like, because this is a weird thing, because it feels like the lesson Starlight should learn from this should have been completely different, because one of her big problems we've seen is she's overly reliant on magic, and now suddenly she can't rely on it at all. And it feels like that should have been the lesson of, hey, stop relying on magic so much.
I think
It's
that's
almost what it feels like.
unintended too.
Yeah, that's really weird, because if that's what it feels like, it almost feels like that was the kind of intended, and then they kind of had to shoehorn in the lesson or the leadership stuff.
I actually didn't quite feel like it was the
it's kind of
no
weird. That
magic
kind of
was the
lines up
original.
way too much, too easily. Like Starlight relies way too much on magic. Oh, hey, now she has to work without magic for a good chunk of to save everyone.
I didn't catch the feeling that was the original intention. I think that was more of the eliminate the Deus Ex that Discord is.
Yeah, but
so
it still
they had
feels
to
like
do
it
something.
still lines up way too nicely.
I think it's more coincidental on that one.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yes, there is such a thing as a coincidence. But yeah, it was more like we needed a MacGuffin to even things out, to actually make it interesting, or literally like
Discord
said
snaps
multiple
a finger,
times,
it's all done.
He can rend reality.
Yeah.
The snap of his fingers. So they needed something to do that. I think that the no magic was more against Discord than it was the other ones.
Especially, I think part of the problem is also with the whole leadership thing is like, even being tacked on, it kind of feels like it wasn't, even if it was, it could have tacked it on, still at least felt like it was went somewhere, but it felt like it kind of didn't. Because like half the stuff that was supposedly Starlight's leadership ability was not. It was someone else stepping in and doing something.
Yeah, like I said, I do agree with you on the tacked on. I would have liked to see the leadership issue that we saw here, but I would have liked to see it many episodes ago. Where we could have actually got more, I would have liked to see that be Starlight's thing other than what we've seen be Starlight's thing so far. I think it would have worked better because it would have fit better if they did it differently. I wanted to see more, because one of our issues that we've had so far with with Starlight is that she seems like a Twilight 2.0. And it seems so
honestly,
very...
the whole leadership thing that kind of doesn't help with that.
It doesn't. It could have, though, if they did it differently.
I think this is just
one of those... It's just... I wanted to see him do it differently. Yes, it was tacked on, and it could have been done better.
I honestly think this is just kind of a character trait development thing, or character development. This should have been the avenue they should have gone down at all. I don't think the leadership thing was the avenue they should have chosen for her for character development. They should have gone somewhere else to help, really, because this really kind of brings back the Diet Twilight complaint for me. Just we're doing unsure about leadership stuff, even though it feels like we've done this before with Twilight. So now it's like, why are we doing it again with Starlight? And except I think it's a different attack angle, sure.
Yeah, I think they could have done it. Like I said, if they did done it earlier with a different angle. Well, that's the thing.
I'm just saying they shouldn't even bother with the leadership thing. They should have shifted to a completely different focus for character development rather than leadership.
I think it could have been done well. I mean, it could have given more of a like we saw a little bit today. Well, no, yeah, in this episode, the interaction between her leadership thing and say Luna. We could have had more of an interaction between them because of that, which we didn't see much with Twilight. So it could have been another good difference if they had done it differently and earlier.
Yeah, they could have done it better, but I feel like it could have been done well, but I think they could have done something even better if they just did a completely different thing entirely. Just even better than that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the whole leadership thing, other than the setup, the opening of this finale, didn't really change anything in the plot either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another thing.
It was solely, well, not really solely, but it was really there just to give a reason for mainly her getting out of town at the right time and having the dream to talk to Luna, because they needed that connection so that Luna could inform her of what's going on.
Yeah.
They could have done something different. They used her leadership thing as the vehicle for that. So you would have had to find something else that worked in that case. Mm-hmm. So you would have had to give her a nightmare, basically, from something. So I guess that's what they came up with. I personally, can't think of any options at the moment that could have been in that place to give her a nightmare. But, I mean, if they had changed her, some of the issues we've had with Starlight from the beginning, if things were different then, it could have set something up
it
different.
Almost feels like the culmination of all the things that went wrong with Starlight over the course of season 6. like the ultimate culmination of this just kind of just didn't work. Honestly, it sometimes feels like Starlight was almost just kind of along for the ride and not really not even that necessary at times. Especially in the second half. In the first half, yes, but in the second half, kind of felt like she was kind of along for the ride and wasn't really that necessary compared to the other three who were necessary.
It's weird. There was a couple points where she was necessary in the second half, where she was the leader of the group. She was leading people through.
For a brief
but then
moment,
it just kind of like
goes away again.
Something else because they wanted to shift focus and do a certain scene. So it's like, okay, maybe this is a victim of scene cuts.
Maybe.
It could be like there was more with her being a leader and seeing more of that.
Yeah.
But they got cut because they actually did less to advance the plot overall than other things. So it's like, okay, which may have changed the pacing. I don't know. I wasn't there for the writing session or anything like that. There could be so many things that we just don't know that could have changed.
I will say what really made the second half really stand out for me, honestly, was the banter between Discord and Trixie.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what the hell, but they have done the unforgivable thing of making Trixie actually likable.
Yes.
What is wrong with you? That's unforgivable.
Okay, so I don't want to really just turn this into a rag on Starlight, so let's...
Too late.
Let's just get that out right at the beginning so we can move on. So, yes, aside from the Starlight issues, I do have some other issues, but let's switch to some good stuff for now, so it's not just a huge hate fest.
Rawr.
Yeah. Trixie and Discord were great. The interactions between those
play
two,
off each other really well.
That was amazing. That was done incredibly well. Kudos to the writers and voice actors on that one. That was amazing. And for the first, about the first half of the movie, though it's kind of weird. Thorax.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Like the whole when they first got to...
I knew about it.
Yeah, that whole... I knew about it. I'm like... It's like...
Almost like the third wheel or fourth
yeah,
wheel.
I feel for Thorax there. I really
awkwardly
do.
around, just kind of, okay.
It's like, I know
here.
the answers, but no one wants to listen to me. As I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to do that. Yeah, I feel for Thorax there. I do really want it like Thorax.
Yeah.
I really did. From the beginning, I was like, it would be great having a good changeling. It could be a character I could really like. So seeing that, I was happy. I liked Thorax too there. Though I suppose it's time for another, I don't know, should we toss on another bad thing?
Sure, why not?
I've got a list of points.
Yeah.
Not all of them are big, horrible, big, bad things. They're just, some of them are just nitpicky, but I think let's just get my next biggest issue. Since you had yours, let's get my biggest issue out. So Thorax changed like changelings do, except he did it differently.
Yeah.
He became a new kind of changeling, and I'm sorry.
It's not great design.
He looks like a bad OC to me.
He kind of does.
I know a lot of people like it. I don't. I really don't like Thorax's design. I mean, one, he looks like a deer, and I don't have anything wrong with that. I think that could have been fine, but I think the 2 points about his design that just don't look right to me is, one, the orange I don't think fits.
Yeah.
But really, it's the horns.
Yeah, it was a little
I
goofy
don't
too.
like the horns, and the bright orange horns. If they were just not have those.
Yeah, remove the rest of the orange wouldn't be orange.
The rest of the orange wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't for the big bright orange horns.
Yeah.
And we see it at the very end when they all change. All the different changelings all have different color designs, which is actually really cool. And some of them look really, really awesome. The colors look great.
Yeah, but not
But
Thorax.
I just don't like the orange and purple is not... I don't think the colors fit with the horn and stuff like that. I kind of like the idea of changing them up and looking like that, but Thorax just looks like a bowl of rainbow sherbet. It just reminds me of rainbow sherbet, and I don't... Yeah. I mean, other than that, it's nitpicky. It really is. There's nothing really that horrible. I just don't... It just doesn't...
Well, you're definitely far from alone.
Yeah, I know I'm not far from alone. I've already seen a lot of people...
It's not the greatest design. I'll say that. It's the... If anything, it really doesn't take much to fix it either. Just remove the orange and the horns, really, and you kind of fixed it.
Sort of, yeah.
more or less. Yeah, you got green and purple, but it's not a terrible
Green and
combo.
purple can work as well as you
Look
do
at
it
Piccolo.
right. Yeah. It's all green with an accent of purple, or
Yeah, it
mainly
works.
purple with an accent
It just
of
depends
green.
on the shades of green and purple.
Yes.
If you use the wrong ones, oh god, your eyes.
And also, I think it's using one as the primary and the other as an accent, and don't match them equally.
Yeah. Also, that scene where actually the sharing of love thing. Some of the dialogue's a little
Yes,
stiff.
that scene I didn't exactly like.
Dialogue's
the dialogue.
weird.
Also, give them all your love.
Yeah, that's of
Kind
course
of
we can.
lewd.
Yes, yeah, of course that when we were adults, we'll think of that, not the kids. But
The kids won't, but we will.
most of them won't anyway. But yeah, the dialogue there was weird. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was exactly, but the dialogue was just off. That part, it just felt weird, stiff, and forced. Honestly.
Yeah. And that's one thing. The dialogue through it. There's a couple points, like the one we just mentioned, the very end,
Mhm.
and
Beginning.
personally, the beginning between
Oh, yeah.
Starlight and Glimmer, the whole talk there, that one felt really kind of over the top,
Overselling
on the nose,
Starlight.
oversold. Yeah.
Like they were really trying to get. It's like it's like almost like this is the finale. So at this point, they have some reaction. It's almost like they're like, okay, please, guys, you got to know Starlight's great, right?
Yeah, the dialogue there felt too much. I don't feel either of those characters would actually say that in
Nah.
a private conversation to
It
each
feels
other.
weird.
That's what it feels like. It's like this is a scene very much. The dialogue is very much for someone else to
For
hear,
the audience to
and
hear, and
that's not good. I honestly don't think that's good writing.
that's
Just
that's
for
what you resort
dialogue?
to when you have a character you know is controversial. Honestly, I've seen it in other shows where when they have a character they know there's a large chunk of the fan base doesn't like, they try to have other characters play them up.
Yeah, I hate saying something's bad writing because I'm not a writer and I don't feel qualified to say something like that. But when it's the whole idea of it doesn't feel like they would ever say that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Does it feel like this is something the character would say? And that the whole exchange that they have, I don't know. It doesn't feel like something that they would actually say, and that's my issue with that one. It's just, I don't know. But other than those points, the rest of the dialogue I thought was great. Like we already mentioned, that
so we just got two
Trixie
awkward, weird things, but the rest of it's good.
Yeah, and I think the one at the end, I think we can just play off as it's the ending, and pretty much every major episode has a rushed ending.
No, that's not so much. I don't think that's a result of rushing. I think it's just the way the sentences were structured, the way the dialogue was just structured there just kind of was.
I don't know. It's a recurring thing.
I think that with the particular is just no matter that's kind of dialogue. No matter how you try to deliver it, it's always going to sound awkward, and there's nothing you can do about it except to just completely rewrite it.
Yeah.
Kind of like sometimes you get the techno babble in Star Trek, where it's just like no matter how you write it, it's gonna go bad.
Yeah, though I think it's a recurring thing throughout the show. It's just at the very end of the big episodes, things tend to get a little
fast
and a little awkward. I think so. That's why I say the
Although
rushing
I think
thing.
this is
like,
one of the
okay,
more
we're
egregious.
wrapping
This
things
is
up.
one of the more egregious offenders of all of them.
I wouldn't say that. I'd have to go through all of them. I mean, there's a couple other points that we've probably brought up in the past.
Yeah.
I still think that one is nitpicky. The ending one, it is definitely just a nitpicky one.
There's something I kind of like is the whole dynamic now between Trixie and Twilight. It's kind of more or less established now as pretty much antagonistic.
Yes.
It's just straight up they don't like each other. It's pretty obvious now. It's like, so any Twixie shippers, too bad.
They're frenemies.
Right.
You know? It's one of those relationships.
Slap, slap, kiss.
Yeah, one of those.
But yeah, I like that just because it's clearly like Trixie's rubbing it in Twilight's face that Starlight wants to go with her, not Twilight, and it's kind of like Trixie still is sort of using their friendship with Starlight as a kind of way to one up Twilight, even though she legitimately cares about Starlight, but she's still using it against Twilight. But
I think the using is ulterior motive.
But also
sort of it's a secondary.
Barely tolerates Trixie. You can see her eye twitching. It kind of gives an idea that that back in that other episode, Twilight simply doesn't like Trixie and doesn't want to admit it. Doesn't want to admit, as the princess of friendship, she's some pony she cannot stand.
It's gonna happen. But yeah, I do kind of like that they still kind of Trixie still kind of pokes at her like that.
Yeah, and Twilight really can't poke back without possibly causing a major scandal.
Yeah. But But yeah, Trixie is, it's official. She's a good pony. She's reformed.
Yeah.
She's not evil. She's not
Well,
bad.
she never really was
And
evil,
she
except
does
for
care. It's not like she's using the friendship. She is friends, and she honestly does care. But it's an added bonus that she gets to do this kind of thing.
she gets to use it against Twilight.
Yeah, the using it against Twilight isn't her motive, isn't
No.
like a secret motive. It's an added bonus on top of the friendship that she actually
Well,
does
Starlight
care
pretty
about.
so seems blind to it. Starlight just seems
I don't-
blind to it.
I don't know. I think Starlight just knows
Yeah.
and just deals with her.
I think that's giving too much credit to Starlight.
You just don't like Starlight.
No, I don't.
But remember that was that one scene. That almost sounds like good advice.
Yeah.
It's like she's aware of Trixie's BS and just looks past it.
Trying to think. There was.
I got another Starlight one.
Oh,
Just kind of add on to our
okay.
Starlight. One of the things I noticed is that, like we were talking about with the last Starlight episode, she didn't get any punishment.
Mm-hmm.
It never came up.
Yeah.
Everything was perfectly fine. It
honestly,
never happened.
If you restructure this a little bit, you could have led from that episode almost directly into this episode and still kind of actually made something work there. So
Yeah,
you
a
could
missed
have actually
opportunity.
kind of had a, more or less a kind of a loose link between the episodes, and you could have. It's there. You just got to do some restructuring, particularly in the first half, which possibly would have made the first half a little less weak for me. And that could have actually worked out really well, but instead we got, nah. I mean, at least we got Dash kind of saying, you were pretty terrible.
That was a great line, by the way.
That was it.
She was kind of, Dash, what?
The other thing about the part one is just kind of feels weird that it took so long for everyone to, or Starlight to kind of figure out that something's up, really. Or not much, or just, she kind of just, that's weird, and just kind of went, okay, I guess they're being weird today. Didn't really, look into it further beyond that. It kind of feels like, makes me wonder if Starlight really doesn't pay attention to the six of them that much, except for Twilight.
Probably not.
Just a little weird. Although I did like the Pinky thing. Oh, bye.
That was glorious.
That sounds terrible.
that was
sounds awful.
glorious.
Bye.
Yeah, and on the no repercussions from the other episode.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that it's weird. It's like a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And what part that makes it really weird is that Mike Vogel wrote both
yeah.
these episodes.
Yeah, he wrote
so
this.
he knew.
Yeah, Vogel and Haber co-wrote this episode.
Yeah, so it's like you knew this was gonna come up. You wrote both episodes.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
it's just big missed opportunity here.
yeah, I think that's what it is. Just a big missed opportunity. Also, I don't know when he wrote each episode because I don't think he may have planned out this one before that one.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not Mike Vogel. I can't speak for him.
I think usually finales are the last things to be written just because they're bigger. I
Usually.
think if I recall, remember they tend to do the big episodes towards the end because they're just bigger.
Usually, but whenever you're planning something, do they know they're going to write the finale before they write all the other episodes? He probably knew that he was on the list to write the finale.
Yeah.
So he was probably, he may have not started the writing process, but
if I recall,
always
in their
plan in your
story
head
meeting, I
first.
think their story meetings always come up with these are general ideas we want to do, and then they go out and write them. They come back and they kind of
yeah. But I mean, he's probably tossing stuff in his head the whole time, so he may have just been in his head had more ideas for the finale before the other one. I don't know. I'm not Mike Vogel, like I said. I can't speak for him.
big missed opportunity in your
I think that's a missed opportunity.
It just and I could have inadvertently kind of fixed, I think, my biggest problem with the first half, and just kind of the weird it just could even fix the leadership thing being tacked on, because then we have a different focus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta prove I'm actually good. I don't know. I gotta prove I'm actually reformed for real.
Yeah, they could have worked.
Instead,
maybe if she didn't get fully redeemed in the last episode and that was still chewing her up at the beginning of this one, that could lead her into the bad dreams that Luna saw.
Speaking of redemption stuff, Chrysalis.
That was actually another thing that I had on my list of points.
I like that she did not get redeemed.
Yes, that was a good point.
However, I feel like they should have left this so some of the changelings stayed loyal to Chrysalis, because that would have been just kind of better.
It's still an opportunity.
Yeah,
but that could still be the case.
I still like the idea of just showing like some of the changelings, like, nah, I'm going to stay with Chrysalis, and they go off with her at the end instead of just Chrysalis.
Yes, that would have been great, and that actually would have helped my feeling that the ending was a little bit rushed to see a little bit more. If we saw a little bit more of that, that would have been cool.
Changeling Civil War. That's why we want to get out of here so fast. This country's about to fall apart. We're going to come back in later when Salt.
Yep.
I mean, no, wait. That's ridiculous. We would never do that. They're too benevolent, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like that they didn't reform her. I was wondering. I thought for a second, are they actually going to do it?
Yeah, they did a bait and switch on that
but they
one.
didn't.
Like, we're gonna do it.
I
We're gonna-
appreciate they
Nope.
finally went, oh yeah, we don't have to reform them every time, do we?
Yep.
But it's kind of like they should have had some of the changelings stay loyal to Chrysalis instead of just all of them following Thorax, which, speaking of Thorax, they're insect-like things, so...
Yeah, so like they're insects. Usually it's the
where
queen,
are they gonna,
and they have
where are the new
drones.
changelings going to come from?
So now he's a king?
Is this like Jurassic Park with the frog DNA?
I don't know. They may just... I don't know. Usually usually in insects, if the queen disappears,
Yeah.
usually one of the drones will do it. Because, I mean, they don't usually have just one queen
Yeah.
possible.
There's always-
They usually have like some set aside.
The
or
princesses,
something
so
like-
to speak.
Sort of. It's every species
So to
is a
speak.
little bit
I know.
different too.
I'm
But yeah.
grossly simplifying for the sake of clarity.
Yeah, but they could probably just grow another queen, or I don't know. Maybe they don't have to worry about that because they're
Thorax,
not
you must
actual.
find a queen. Oh. It's got to be another
Spike
changeling.
doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know how changelings work when it comes to
I don't
that.
think we're ever going to know that either. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's a weird topic.
Yeah, that just might something they gloss
Fandom
over.
will sure tell you.
Oh, yes. We'll just look to fan content for that one. Fanfics. Fill me in, or please don't.
Oh, my. Oh, yeah. It was kind of obvious there's something big with the Thorax's wings going on.
They were
It's like
hinting
they're-
at it the whole
there's like-
time.
I kept focusing on them with their, oh, look, they're shining. They keep getting the little shine on them. So it's like, they're important for some reason.
Yeah, he begun his metamorphosis.
Yeah, that was a very, very fast cocoon time.
They were running out of time. They
I
couldn't
know.
do a full magical girl sequence.
Or they couldn't just like, we got to wait here for like 8 weeks for
Yeah.
They're just kind
no.
of awkwardly standing around like,
Just be glad he already had wings and a horn.
yeah, just imagine that. Just like he does that change and
What's he doing?
now what? He's just kind of sitting there in a cocoon.
Yeah.
He's like, well, now what? Hi, Chrysalis.
Can we just put this off? Can we
we
get a
ju-
rain
yeah,
check on
yeah.
this?
Yeah,
No.
this is awkward.
It would have been kind of funny to see, a stereotypical magical girl transformation sequence on Thorax, though.
That
Not just
would've
the
been
bright
funny.
shining light and
That
poof,
would
there
have
he
been
is.
funny.
I would so love to. I want to see it. I want to see it like a fan made animation of it. I want to see it.
Do
That would
we-
have been cool.
Although I was gonna wonder how different would things be if Starlight did take Twilight instead of Trixie at the beginning? How different?
Twilight would have had all of her abilities, and we wouldn't have seen much of anything.
Well, all of her abilities until we get to the changeling. I haven't. Oh,
Well, except she's already a known meticulous planner,
I
and
know.
you wouldn't have any of that. She's like, yep, let's do this. I know exactly what to do. Yeah.
I don't need magic for this.
There wouldn't.
I still
The
got my
conflict
hooves.
would have been different. I also think the whole changeling love thing, like we said, the dialogue was a little bit off. I think the idea is just kind of cheesy too.
Well, that's kind of what they did, though. Changelings in
I know.
literature did that. They feed on love because they replaced the real baby, and then they feed off the love. And yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
Speaking
love
of
vampires.
babies, that's my other point. Guess what? Flurry Heart really was useless for the entire season.
This really does. Really does reek of Hasbro told us to put her in, so we have to.
They
They said they came up with her, but I don't
But
buy
seriously, the entire idea, Flurry Heart, Alicorn, other than the overpowered stuff in the beginning, which could have easily been changed, I still think.
Yep.
She was entirely
that. Pointless.
useless.
Pointless, even.
Unless they have a plan in season 7,
I doubt
she
it.
was pointless.
I doubt it.
Absolutely pointless.
She was. Such is life, I guess.
But I mean, okay, so those are my downsides,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for me, just there was a lot of fun stuff, particularly in the second half. There was a couple funny bits in the first half, just mostly faces and one or two jokes. Overall, for me, the first half kind of just merely okay. Not the greatest thing, overly focused. It kind of sets up a weird plot point that doesn't really do much of anything and feels oddly forced. Second half was a lot of fun romp and just kind of generally overall better than the first half and a lot of fun to watch, particularly because of Discord and Trixie. Just kind of a weird ending that didn't quite nail it. So it's a weird thing, especially compared to other finales. It's kind of a low bar finale comparatively.
Yeah, what I will say, a lot of the times with our two-parters that we've seen that the first half is a little bit slower because it's just the setup for the second half, the build-up, the setup for the final resolution and conflict. I think this one with the other two-parters, we get more of the setup and conflict into the first one, where this one, we didn't get as much of the conflict in the first one, so it was just more of a setup. I think that's what caused more of the drag.
I don't know. It feels like, for me, seasons 2, 4, and 5 all kind of did a better job with this. This one feels really particularly egregious about the weird pacing in the first half. It's like, even like season 2, like that, the Changelings again, just that kind of had a really good pacing of, in general, it felt better about it versus this kind of went, okay, here we go.
Yeah. I don't think the pacing was quite as bad as you think it is. However, I'll say overall, again, like the other Starlight episode, within itself, if we consider it just within itself and remove my issues with Starlight, it becomes better. And I think, like, technical stuff, other than the couple of points that we've mentioned, like the pace, some of the pacing or the dialogue issues, other than that, I think the execution and writing was actually fairly decent.
Yeah.
It is an enjoyable episode, and it was fairly well done. So I can't say it was a bad episode or a bad finale. It wasn't. But with the issues that I brought up with, Thorax is an OC, a bad OC, and the Starlight issues and some of the issues there, I do think it pulls the episode down according with the other seasons. I do prefer a lot of the other finales better than this one. This is not one of my upper ones, but that's mainly because of my other long-standing issues with some of the characters, less than just this episode. Because within it, I think technical qualities, it was actually fairly well done. I can't say that Mike Vogel didn't write it well. He did.
Or Haber.
Yeah, or Haber. Haber was the editor.
No,
right?
Haber,
They
Haber
both
and Vogel
did it.
wrote.
Yeah, but other than a couple points here, but I think those couple points did enough to it.
I just feel
at
like
least
the first
for me
I just feel that it's the first. It's so hard for me to judge as a whole because the two halves are I have such different opinions of the two halves. It's hard for me to judge as a whole.
I don't know.
So
I don't think the first half was as.
I just feel the first half is just kind of a decent episode, just not a great one.
But we can't.
Yeah,
we would be remiss to mention probably the most important thing that happened in the entire episode. Applejack ate a pear.
Oh no, that should have tipped you off.
That right there.
They should have had that right there.
Applejack ate a pear.
Yeah, I know. Town square, just her just munching on a pear, and Starlight just like, are you?
But we saw that. We saw Applejack, well, at least the Changeling one, ate a pear.
Yeah,
that was the most important piece.
But we gotta. Yeah, we got to wrap this up and move on because we're going really long on this. So that's it for that. We got fan content, though, with start off with 3 songs.
So we'll pass it back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, 3 songs I found this week. So first one I got, Blur by the Cosine Pitch Shifters.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Too good. I'm bored.
Woohoo, hardstyle. I don't get to feature this very often. It's heavy-hitting hardstyle, and a couple points that I do really like. The vocal clipping that I think work pretty well, and there's this melody part in the middle that I do really like. It does get a bit repetitive. It is hardstyle. It does have that issue. I do wish that melody, I guess it's not really a melody, but you know what I'm talking about there, I hope. Yeah. I do think wish there was a bit more of that, and less of some of the other parts. But yeah, overall, I do like the song.
Yeah, it was a very harsh song. Kind of very harsh sound, which makes sense.
It's hard sound.
Yeah, it is a little too long. I think if you chopped off about 20 seconds or so, it would feel a lot better regarding that.
Take 20 seconds of the heavy hitting part and replace it with more of the less heavy hitting melody.
I think if you just chop off pieces here and there, kind of overall, just you get remove about 20 seconds or so, you'd probably be overall kind of a better structured song.
It would be about 20% cooler.
You did just.
I had to. It's a Rainbow Dash song. Not. But yes, that's the first one. The second one I have is Dark of the Moon by Trixent. this has nothing to do with the Bayformers movie.
You don't have to be a gun.
No, it's a very dark and heavy D&B song. And I do really like that. It's one of those you either put on your headphones and just listen to it, or even just put it on the car flying down the freeway. It'd be fun too. Good song. I do, again, think this is a bit long as well, but I still like it.
Yeah, this is actually kind of has a very cosmic sound to it, which is fitting. Very cosmic, if that makes sense. It gives you the kind of the idea of like going through space.
I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's called Dark of the Moon.
I don't know, whenever I think going through space and cosmic, I go straight to Styx,
Well,
which is completely different.
But this is a very ambient. It's the thing is, it's very ambient for a D&B song.
It's ambient, but it's still hard and heavy.
Yeah, it's oddly, but then the other thing is, despite being long, it changes up frequently enough so it doesn't get repetitive for me.
It's not repetitive, but it's a bit
Yeah,
long.
I didn't
like
really have a
7
problem with the
minutes
length of this
long.
one. This one I don't have a problem with just because it changes up enough that I don't mind the length.
And it's ambient enough, it doesn't get as annoying. But the last song I have is Learning from the Best by Fritzy Beat.
You and me are loved without a care, but I care if I fell down there. And though my heart's beating rapidly in my chest, I know I'm learning from the best.
This is actually Fritzy Beat adding lyrics to a Naysayer song, because it's Naysayer made the instrumental a while back, and Fritzy Beat was working with Sights and Sing to add lyrics to it, and here it is. So 3 people actually: Fritzy, Sights and Sing, and Naysayer. It's a collab.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one, it's fun, lighthearted.
Yep.
And it's also Twilight and Dash.
Yep. Very light and bouncy.
Yep.
My favorite is definitely the Dark of the Moon, though, I think.
Yep.
But
But
yeah,
those are the ones I've got. So
Right.
back to you.
Trying to do this fast. I got a fic. No updated stuff though, so we won't have to worry about that. But it's a fic called "Never Open the Door." It's a Halloween fic, and it's by Fall Blau.
Blow.
That's fun to say. It's a little, just shy of 3,000 words. It's a Halloween fic, so Twilight was told never to open a door, and then she does it anyway at one point. And the thing is, the setup is kind of the explanation is like, it kind of like why, but it kind of, I like it just kind of the general creepiness and atmospheric part of it kind of works pretty well. So that's kind of why I like it. Also, it's one of the few Halloween fics I could find that was actually pretty good, and I'm willing to bet they're all going to be coming out in the next week when we're not airing.
Haha.
I just think it had a very creepy. It was very good at painting a very creepy picture, and overall particularly for the second half.
I thought it was okay. I'm not huge into dark, those
Yeah.
kind of just creepy kind of things as much. I will say, when I first started reading, started describing after she opened the door, I thought it was going to be an SCP reference to that one stairwell. That's what I was expecting, and it wasn't. But it was all right. It's 3,000 words, quick read.
Yeah, it's the thing is just it doesn't have the best setup per se. It's just kind of there's a door there because reasons, and Twilight wants to go in.
Yeah.
It could have. I think it could have done with a little bit better stuff, but I think for me, just the part of where it's just the general atmosphere it creates after she opens the door is kind of, I think, really kind of the strength of this fic. But that's that. Like I said, no updates. So we are finished, and thank God, because we are going really long this time. So if you liked it and you want to hear past and future episodes, you can go to pony411.libsyn.com. That's again Libsyn, and you can subscribe to the RSS feed there and whatnot. There's also iTunes. You can search for Pony 411, or Google Play, and again search for Pony 411. And there's Stitcher.com, or the iOS or Android apps on that. And there's YouTube.com/Pony411. You can like, subscribe, and comment there. Or you can go to Ponyville Live, and that will get you the YouTube link. Or you can go to Ponyville FM every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, that's going to be soon every other Tuesday. And you can also contact us. We are a pony411podcast@gmail.com if you want to email us. Questions, comments, criticisms, news bits, whatever. Say hi. Cool. There's also facebook.com/pony411. Like us there and see new episodes as they come up. Or you can contact us via our Twitter at pony411. And this is where, again, episodes will appear there as we go through. And there's our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alcatraz with a 7 and 7T and an underscore at the end. I've been tweeting about political stuff. If you're interested, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fun. But that's it for us. We are going into our bi-weekly schedule now.
Yep.
So next week we will have nothing. So have a happy Halloween. Don't overeat the candy.
Or do.
Or do if you want. Get your stomach
Not
ache.
your mom.
Yeah, we're not your parents. I'm not your supervisor. And yeah, so join us in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about, I guess, season 6 in a nutshell.
Yep, we're going to do one of those.
Yes.
Just talk about the whole season.
And lists. Everyone loves lists,
everyone
right?
like lists.
That's how BuzzFeed works.
Listicles.
But that's it. Until then, though, well, please, pony responsibly, guys. Have a happy Halloween and see ya.
See ya.
Starts off with this.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums everything up quite well.